What's up, guys? This is Renegade Operative here, and I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that I disliked on gaming podcasts. Now, for people who don't know this, I have declined a few offers to jump on other people's podcasts, and I don't want to sound vain just because of it. However, I rather handle my own product and improve on my own product. But I do watch other podcasts. I do try to take inspiration. I do try to learn from my mistakes. And there's just some stuff that goes on podcasts that are absolutely ridiculous that I watch. So these are the top 5 things that I dislike about gaming podcasts. Number 1, when everyone yells a point over each other. Now, this one is pretty self-explanatory. How the fuck can I hear you guys talking when you're arguing and yelling and trying to demonstrate a point when everyone's screaming, everyone's fucking noise decibels are up to 12,000? Just fucking quit it. Number 2 is when the host is disorganized. So this is when people don't have topics for their podcast. They don't know what to do. And they start talking about either Harambe's fucking cock on a woman's head, or some fucking bullshit about Trump, or some fucking bullshit about politics. That's when you really know that you ran out of topics. If you can't stay on point, if you diverge too much. I mean, some people don't like to read on our personal podcast, and I understand that. Some people think that I just want to get on and give my opinions. I don't want to read a fucking book. Like, I don't want to read Shakespeare. But at least we're organized enough to the point where it's about gaming. What we're reading is about gaming, and what we're reading can be found on the latest sites and articles and valid sources in gaming medium. I hate when people are disorganized, and I hate when people follow fucking clickbait. That's just complete erroneous trash, and it needs to die. So, number 3, if you have a toilet mic and everyone can hear all the background noise in your house, if you live near a highway, that is the most annoying thing I have heard in the face of the earth. I'm not trying to single anyone out, but if you have some sort of consideration for doing YouTube projects, doing videos, doing podcasts, doing live streams, then you must realize that having cheap equipment where everyone can hear everything isn't going to cut it, because eventually it's going to get to that point where you want your voice to be heard, but you're being drowned out by all the noise in the background, and that is not a good concept. Like, it makes you sound unprofessional if you are on a keyboard for like 80% of the podcast. If like this is all you hear, right? All you hear is this fucking old ass keyboard, this old dusty piece of shit in my hand, and you can't hear anyone's point. That is not professional. Eventually people are going to think you're unprofessional, and it's just not a good fit. So once again, go out. I mean, start off with a blue snowball. I'm still using that. It was like $50. Get yourself a fucking pop filter, so every time you say those P's, every time you say, hey baby, I'm going to take you out for that pistol pumping action, and you will ride the pump and you will have the time of your life, then you'll have a pop filter so all those P's don't fucking come through, and then you get to have yourself a nice good time with a beautiful woman, and all is free and all is right in the world. I'm being a damn fool on this cast, man. I really am. On this video, I'm being a damn fool. I can't concentrate, really. I gotta move on to the next point. Number 4, if you have a clear console bias, if you have a extreme bias that you can't see the point of the competitor, you can't see the good things in gaming, even though they are of a brand that you don't like. Look, I fucking hate brand loyalty. I despise it. If you can't look outside of the box on a podcast, then you're not a podcast worth watching, in my opinion. I don't care about fucking people who just fucking fillet Sony. I don't care about fucking people who just fucking fillet Microsoft. I don't fucking care about people who fillet Nintendo. I don't care about people who just fillet the fucking PC masturbate all day. We're all gamers at the end of the day, and we all have preferences. Now, I understand. Preferences are fine. People can have these thoughts and opinions about what they like and what they don't like. But if you're biased, if you just see one side, if you are the type of person that will say, I will completely boycott a company because of the marketing deal that they have with another company for a multiplat. If you're the type of person that gets mad over fucking Titanfall 2 disc not being green, then you can go fuck yourself. because you're not helping anyone. All you're doing is just getting mad at companies and not playing games. The main trend with some of these people is that they will spread this agenda, but they will not play fucking games. All you will look like is some beaten slave that came straight out of the Himalayas, beaten by your master Phil Spencer because he wants nothing to do with you, or beaten by all these other companies and publishers and people on Twitter that in all actuality they want nothing to do with you fanboys that propagate this console war on Twitter. Once again, they want nothing to do with you, and the only people who like these podcasts are the same people who have the same slave hive mind mentality to enjoy feeling good about their pieces of plastic. So number 5 was hard for me to narrow down, but this is an honorable mention, more of a nitpick if anything, but it's when someone complains that a member either bailed from the podcast, or if someone isn't there anymore, they say the personality and the life is sucked out of an ensemble cast. That's bullshit. Personalities is plural, bro. Once again, the podcast does not rest on the shoulders of one member just because that guy was funny. I think you can run a gaming show all about gaming if it's coordinated and organized and if everything is on track. Just because you don't have the laughs involved like you used to, that doesn't mean that the podcast is dead. And number 5, my number 5 pick is bringing someone on board that's quiet the whole time and doesn't say anything. I think a podcast is very vocal. I think a podcast is very engaging. Having that dead air on board is just a useless slot, in my opinion. It's a person that isn't contributing to the podcast or the topics alone, so it begs the question, why did you join in the first place? It makes no sense. So that is my top 5 picks of what annoys me, what I dislike in gaming podcasts. I hope you found this video entertaining. I hope you found Potty Mouth Renegade entertaining. And once again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Once again, take care. There's some funny bloopers that I had in the beginning, so it took me a while to do, but I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Take care.